Hello, here we go again. I talked about the Philippines living here, some of the economic situation, stuff like that. Here's to you guys. I hope you're having your morning coffee. So, I really enjoyed how far my money would go here in the Philippines. I certainly I do feel rich over here. I mean, when I was in the U.S., my even as a master electrician working for state government and stuff like that, I could barely, I afford all the things I live in like everybody did, paycheck to paycheck, and I we had bought a house and had a what's a $1,200 mortgage, and so I was just your average lower income Joe in the U.S. And it was interesting because I know I mentioned the homeless situation in Hong Kong, which I'm going to tell a story about sometime. I just wish I still had some of the evidence that I could show you of the story because I had pictures of my campsite on my tablet. My tablet crapped out on me. I mean, I've lost so many pictures from computers crapping out and all that stuff. It's just unbelievable. But um, so living here in the Philippines is quite easy. And when you go from being homeless in Hong Kong to being like what they would describe as a millionaire here in the Philippines, it's totally different lifestyle. I'm telling you, it's just unbelievable. And like I say, we keep a low profile. I don't flaunt anything here. And the people here are so friendly. Um, I have never been called sir so much in my entire life. Everywhere you go, people address you, yes, sir. Can I help you, sir? Everything's sir, and if you were a lady, it'd be ma'am. And so it's really nice. Uh, and being an elder here, the other thing in the Philippines is they have like a senior discount card, of which I have. I use on occasion. Usually, I just use it for when I order Shakey's Pizza. I can get a couple dollars off and it's cheap. I can get like two. It'd be like 14-inch pizzas for less than $20 for about let's see, actually about $16. Two and that would be with a liter and a half of uh, a beverage, which now they've got A&W, so I order that. I hate Coca-Cola. They had the old Coke before. So, even a senior discount for the fast food is nice. Um, okay, and then, so let's see. Oh boy, where do I go from here? One of the other lovely conveniences I like about living in the Philippines is, of course, you guys have Amazon and you have some other services in the U.S. Over here, they have Shopee and they have Lazada. And Lazada is basically a Chinese outfit like Temu or Shein or there's another one I don't remember the name. I'll think of it. But and then Shopee is still Asian. Is based out of Singapore, and I believe it may have a Singaporean or a Chinese owner. I'm not sure, but um, it's a little different. And so, and when I order out of those places, I try to order from local shops in the Philippines. And it's really nice because, man, I don't even have to go outside. They just deliver right to your door, whatever. You name it, I've had it delivered to my door from a complete wood lathe for doing wood lathing, uh, jacks, um, food, clothing. I order all my clothing from there because once you get used to it, you know what sizes to order and stuff, what they offer. It's pretty nice. So the only time I go out is if I need to go to a bank and do an ATM withdrawal, or I want to go to a local grocery store and buy some milk. And by the way, the milk here is ultra high temperature treated. There's no homogenation to it. It's probably the closest thing you can get to raw milk. as ever. And of course, you have to watch what you buy because a lot of some of it's powder mixed and this and that and the other thing, and then and the rest of it's labeled pure cow's milk, from Australia or from Alaska. And I hate to say it, but I don't buy anything coming out of the U.S. because of GMO, Monsanto, and all that crap. There's so much poison in the food in the U.S. That's why Europe bans a lot of it. And so I do a lot of research on what goes in my body. And so, and now that I'm getting older, I'm doing a lot of research on how to keep my muscle mass, up to speed and whatnot, so I don't deteriorate over here. And I'm quite active. Lately, I haven't been as much. I've been feeling kind of lazy, but I have a lot of DIY hobbies that I do. I'm usually out in what I call my shop under the carport a lot of the time, uh, in the past especially. If you look on my Mark DIY corner, you'll see a pole behind camper I built that evolved from the old center car that I built. And I spent like a year and 8 months renovating the center car, turning it into a pull behind camper. And the only reason I built the camper is not because I could go camping, is that my wife, we were building her house about 99 kilometers from here. And with her kids living in there, it was not convenient for her to sleep in the house, not a lot of resources. So we just parked the camper in front of the house, and so she now got her own mobile bedroom whenever she goes there. And it's all totally off grid. I got solar panels that charge I got 200 amp hour lithium ion batteries in it, 2000 watt pure sine inverter. It's got air conditioning, running water, shower, everything you'd need in a house if you want to use it. Of course, she shares some of the facilities in the house that she built. And so anyway, it's pretty convenient for her to sleep in there, and it's nice. People here, they don't have the money to do stuff like that. I I don't buy things; I build things. I'm a do-it-yourselfer, so I don't go out and I buy a car. I can't build a car. I can't build a motorcycle, so I will buy those things. But anything else for the house, if I can use my ingenuity and build it or put it together or whatever. And when we first got here, I tried to hire Philippine labor to do some things, and a couple things happened. I wasn't finding the people with the experience to do the quality of work that I needed. And believe me, I am by no way a perfectionist. No way. I give up on that a long time ago. But they just do things different here. That's all I can say. And I got used to how they do things, and sometimes I'll do them the way they do things only because it's the culture and it's the way things go together. But other than that, I just decided that it's easier to do it myself. And there's that old saying we have in the West: if you want it done right, you got to do it yourself. And so that's where I'm at most of the time. So the nice thing here is there's like three growing seasons a year, which you don't have in the West. You have one growing season, that's it. So we can grow our own tomatoes 3 times a year, just about everything. And the winter growth cycle is a little different than the two summer growth periods. And so you can grow some different vegetables because of the cooler temperature. And and there's some places in the Philippines, like in Baguio, where they grow things that we can't grow here. They got strawberry farms and all kinds of things up there. We visited them once. We'll go back sometime. But anyway, so it's nice. And my wife, she's grown everything. We got barely any little. We got a little plot of land out here. That's it. It's probably 5 feet wide by 13 feet long, and that's about it. Everything else is in a pot and like a plant pot. And so that's how we grow things here. And now the nice thing is I like about this is our yard is all gated. It's almost like living in a gated community. We were blessed to find this house that we rent, and I went over I think what the rent was in one of my last videos. Less than 300 a month for a 4 bedroom with a bath and a half and a second floor balcony. and it's all fenced in. And I made sure even the neighborhood tomcats couldn't get in. Unfortunately, the only thing that gets in are the rats, and we got some pretty big ones here. They can get pretty big, but so I have to keep the cats out because we got six Shih Tzus here, and I went outside one day out the back door because the dogs were raising a ruckus. I thought maybe a couple of them were, having at it together, and I look and two or three of my Shih Tzus were going at it with some orange uh, neighborhood tomcat or barn cat or whatever, and I had to walk up there and grab that cat by the nape of the neck and pull him out of the hunk of dog. My dog still had a hold of him. As I pulled the cat up, the dog kind of fell away. I felt bad for the cat, and I don't like the cats that over here they bring their fleas in here and everything, and I basically chucked them over the fence, and that was quite an experience for that cat. I don't think he'd ever flown like that before. But and then I made a little greenhouse for my wife out here, right? From this shaded canvas that only lets about 40 to 60% of the sunlight in. And then the cats had himself a hammock on the back because I had it connected to the top of the fence, and that would go up, a little ways, and I was about maybe 8 feet long and about 4 feet wide, right? Well, I catch these cats using it as a hammock, so I take my hand, put it up under there, and go, "Whoop," and that cat would go flying. Now, the next time I changed that, because the UV rays here, man, they kill everything. So the next time I changed it, I actually took some chicken wire I had and I cut some of them and I put some prickly things sticking up about every 2 inches or so, so the cats can't go up there and lay down anymore. So, oh, I tell you, it's interesting here. We got chicken wire and barbed wire fence, and 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 I did something that they do here regularly. My landlord, so they have, a concrete fence, and the blocks here are terrible, but they fill them with concrete. But anyway, I actually concreted broken glass to the top of the brick wall. So, and I got that on the pillars and everything, so they can't climb over it. If they do, they're going to be in trouble. Uh, and even on the one fence, I have about a 2.5 foot chicken wire spread out on it, so they have to crawl between that over the broken glass to get in because I had to make sure this place is pretty secure because feeling the rich like I am and being a DIYer, I bought a lot of tools. Um, I can't even begin to imagine the value of tools I have here. About anything you want to be able to do between carpentry and plumbing and metalworking and stuff like that. I got three different welders: a heavy duty, a mid range inverter, and then a gasless MIG. And so I do a lot of work with those, and grinders and miniature drill press and chop saw and all that stuff. I had to turn my carpenter skills into metalworking skills because the wood here is just not only is it expensive, but when I first got here, the only wood I could get was what they would drag out of the mountains, and they cut up with their chainsaw in like 2x6 or whatever, and it's not ever finished or planed, so I had to buy a planer and finish it myself. And it's hardwood, softwood, it's crooked, you know, and so I finally gave up on it. And the other thing is, it's illegal. They don't have a wood industry here, and so whatever wood you get, it's been illegally taken from the mountains, and you can't even if you get caught with it on your vehicle taking it from point A to point B, it'll get confiscated. So it's really a strange environment. Okay, hey y'all, we thank you for watching, and we hope you return. Please hit that like and subscribe button and pass our videos around. I'd love for people to see what's going on in the Philippines over here. Until next time, this is Mark and Elena's channel saying we're over and out.